Hello, my name is Joel Goolsbay. I'm doing this for my RITA application to teach and tutor online. The subjects I'm looking to teach would be English. That's primarily what I'm strongest in. I am a teaching English as a foreign language certified teacher, as well as teaching English as a second language, a dual certification. I am furloughed currently from the Metin International English Teaching Company in Beijing. Uh, I am hoping to go back there eventually once the pandemic and visa issues are fixed. But in the meantime, I am looking to teach and tutor. And I think I would be a value addition to the company in English, but also I have excelled in math all the way up until to college calculus. I am excellent at science. That's what I thought I wanted to do before majoring in economics. So I can teach up to collegiate economics as well as statistics. I decided to become a teacher because um, I really love that way that a student just lights up, that clicks. And when they finally understand and see that they can master a skill, that moment where they realize that this is cool, or even if it's not something they want to do for the rest of their life, they really feel like they can do it and do it well. Um, I would say one of the methods I use to check for understanding as a teacher is I ask questions first and foremost, but also I look for those moments of recognition in their face, and in the eyes especially. That moment where you go, ah, or ah, gotcha. And that usually is a very good indicator for me. I want to work for RITA Education because I believe that filling in this gap during the pandemic is critical. Even after the pandemic is taken care of, we seem to be coming near to the end of this storm, but I believe that education will be fundamentally changed in its format as well. And even so, we're going to need to be able to fill the gap that's going to be a pretty serious lag for probably a couple of years after all this is done. If kids are just way so far behind that we're just drowning in the teachers, no matter how hard they work, we're unable to keep up. I love that RITA in particular is looking for qualified teachers to fill that gap that have also been affected by this furlough like I have and are no longer employed. My teaching philosophy I find to be what works for the student. That seems cliche, except for the fact that oftentimes that doesn't happen. It's what works for the teacher or what works for the majority of the classroom. But RITA allows for individualized attention to really focus in on an individual student with individualized attention, with individualized teaching styles. Uh, I find the most frustrating thing about teaching is that really you aren't able to tailor your efforts best to each student just because of time and logistical constraints, especially in the traditional classroom. I think of innovation in education, I picture it as being, whether it being online or being in person. RITA tends to be is online, but what it really is that individualized, focusing on an individual student, much like as you find in more in a private school or a charter school or homeschool environment, as has been, or like the learning pods that have been popping up all over the place, especially during the pandemic. Home education has become a necessity as well as a method that has been revisited because of all the current events that are going on. I am looking for full-time work. In my free time, I play chess, I read, I binge watch Game of Thrones or other shows that I enjoy on Netflix, Hulu, Disney. I listen to audiobooks, radio dramas, uh, music is of all kinds. Um, and I think that as a company, I would expect that I would really gain the support of course, compensation, but also any kind of technical issues and also mentorship of helping me tailoring I as well as other teachers into the role and allowing me to add value to the company. Once again, I'm looking forward to adding value to the company, and I appreciate being contacted even months afterwards, thinking that the position's already been filled. So I hope that that even though this is a little bit later than probably you would expect to hear something from me, you would see that I truly am anxious to fulfill the role and add value, and really look forward to being continuing in the process of being hired by your company.